one of the best personal injury firms in the country.
No one beats a Fairway Chevrolet deal. No one. This is an NBC News special report.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Savannah Guthrie alongside Craig Melvin. We have some breaking news at this hour, and details are just coming in about a shooting that happened in Alexandria, Virginia, that is right outside of Washington, D.C. Reportedly, a member of Congress has been shot. This happened at a baseball field where we're understanding that they were practicing for a softball game that's coming up.
Congressional softball game set to happen tomorrow. NBC's Tom Costello is standing by on the phone. Tom, what more can you tell us at this point? What do we know?
Guys, good morning. We're in Alexandria, Virginia, just across the river from Washington. This occurred within the past hour or so, within the 7 o'clock hour Eastern time. A gunman allegedly opening fire on a group of members of Congress who were playing baseball, really practicing for a big baseball game that they have every year. That game is tomorrow night. They were on a practice field when a gunman apparently opened fire. We do have reports of people hit. We cannot tell you exactly who has been hit. There's one report that a gunman has been taken into custody, and that is where we stand at this point. There may be more coming in the next few minutes, but a tremendous amount of emergency equipment here in Alexandria, Virginia, with police, fire, rescue, all on the scene, and allegedly one gunman taken into custody. Guys, back to you.
And there are reports, as I mentioned at the top, that a member of Congress has been shot, but we just aren't clear yet whether or not that identity has been confirmed, and we have no reports at this hour of any fatalities, but as Tom just mentioned, potentially multiple shots fired.
Tom, you mentioned that there are reports that this gunman may be in custody. Is this an area that's on lockdown right now? Do they believe this is a gunman who acted alone? Do they think perhaps that he might be part of something larger? And again, the caveat here being that this is very early and all of this information is, of course, preliminary.
Yeah, Craig, there is so much police activity in this area. I'm still not able to get right up to the scene itself. I'm a couple of blocks away, and as you would expect, with this much police activity there, the streets are a bit locked down at the moment, difficult to get in close. So I can't answer your question as to whether they think other players might be involved here, but we do have a report that at least one gunman may be in custody at this point. There are also members of Congress tweeting out updates on themselves and reporting that multiple shots were fired, and that one report has it that a rifle was involved in the shooting, but we don't have that independently confirmed.
And Tom, sorry to interrupt you, but NBC has now confirmed that Steve Scalise, who is the Republican whip, a congressman in leadership in the United States Congress, was among those who was shot. Unclear on what his condition is at the moment. I want to go to Peter Alexander, who's at the White House, and I see that Sean Spicer, the White House press secretary, has said that both the president and vice president have been briefed. Peter, what more can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right. We're now hearing from the White House, Sean Spicer, the press secretary, who you'll remember formerly served at the Republican National Committee, so he has very close relationships with members of Congress that would include Steve Scalise, the Republican congressman from Louisiana. Spicer writing that both the president and vice president, as you noted, are aware of this developing situation in Virginia, adding that our thoughts and prayers are with all affected today. There are reports right now, so far not yet independently confirmed by NBC News, that Scalise was hit in the hip by gunfire today. Other reports, a lot of this coming through Twitter, many lawmakers and their aides communicating on the status right now on Twitter. One of them suggesting that Mo Brooks, another Republican lawmaker, actually used his belt as a tourniquet to try to stop some of the bleeding on one of the victims at this location there. This took place in an area of Alexandria, Virginia, known as the Delray area, that has largely been a gentrifying area. It's an area that has had some problems with crime in the past. At this point, still unclear whether, in fact, the victims here, those individuals who were hit, were specifically targeted, or if this was just violence that happened to take place in that area. But about this congressional baseball game that is, at least this morning, as of this morning, scheduled to take place tomorrow at the Nationals ballpark, the home of the Washington Nationals baseball team. This is really one of the few bipartisan opportunities that still exist in Washington with a deeply divided Congress right now. This is a chance for everybody to come together on days like tomorrow night. It's the reason why so many lawmakers get up for an early morning practice at 6 o'clock in the morning. We're going to work to get new details on exactly who was hit by these bullets.
Okay, and we are just getting this information, so forgive us as we tried to put it together, but NBC has been able to confirm that Congressman Steve Scalise, who of course is the majority whip, one of the Republican leaders in the Congress was among those shot. We believe there were multiple shots fired, and it's my understanding there is another congressman who was there at the time and may have been involved, as Peter mentioned, in administering aid. So